4 months, my whole life changed. Made some poor decisions that day that led to me being in jail.
Do you think that mindset is what led to your hitting $3 million? What's going down? Episode number 2 of the Young Enough podcast. Last episode went absolutely crazy, and doing it again, just pure authentic conversations. And the special guest I got today, he's a pure representation of that. In the past 3 years, been able to generate over $3 million in sales. And at 21 years old, had a little altercation and wasn't in a good position with jail and everything. But we're going to talk about that full story and how in the matter of 4 years later, being able to do $3 million in sales, I got my man Jay with me, man. What up? Man? Appreciate you. Bro, appreciate you more than anything. We are here in beautiful Dallas.
Right.
Beautiful spot.
Right.
But honestly, I want to start off with like whenever we're young, bro, like the reason why I started Young Enough podcast, because there's a new generation, like growing up, everybody get a degree, get a job, do that for the next X amount of years. But nowadays, there's a whole new generation where you can really get it while you're young and be up and travel, remote, and you embody fully that. But where did that fully start? Did you go to college? Like, did you have a plan before you got to the point where you're at right now? Like, how did that all start?
Yeah, for sure, bro. Well, first of all, I appreciate you having me on the show. Appreciate being able to come on here and serve your audience. I know we got some things cooking and some things in the works, so
Great.
they can be excited for that. But yeah, the journey starts, back at home, like most of us. But as far as just, I guess, opening my mindset, being open to a different way of living, I've always had that ambition in me as far as wanting to do something more for my life, and I've always looked at others around me and wanted to serve and just be able to do the most I can for others, and I knew that was the way to get what I want. So that is a full process, I think, for a lot of people, and me specifically, is just like figuring out what do I want to do and how can I serve at that level and impact others. So that was kind of the initiation point. And then through there, I think when I got introduced to mentors, like a concept of someone telling me how to become successful was brand new for me. So I remember vividly, it was this video I watched by Will Smith. I was probably like 16 years old.
16.
Yeah, and it was called Secrets to Success. It was by Will Smith, and it was this compilation video on YouTube where basically it just broke down a few of Will Smith's different interviews, and he'll say things like, oh, in order to build the biggest wall, you don't think about building a wall. You think about going out and laying a brick and laying that brick as perfectly as a brick can be laid. And you go out and you do that every single day, and then eventually you'll have a wall.
100%.
And concepts that greatness isn't something that you're born with or this esoteric hidden thing that only the few among us can achieve.
Right.
But it's really something all of us can adapt by having the right mindset, a growth mindset, and there's this ability to work for it. He talks about, like, if it's me and you on a treadmill and someone's got to get off first, I'm going to die or you getting off the treadmill.
I've seen that.
So these ideas kind of first sparked in my head, like, oh, I can change my life. Like, I can go from where I am right now. I don't have to stay the same. I don't have to do what everybody's doing in my environment, and I can change. So I think that was kind of the catalyst to find some different options, some different solutions for me, was first believing I can change and having a role model, somebody I look like, somebody that's already doing it, to say like, okay, this is the path.
Facts. Man, that's exactly what we're doing right now. Because I was the same way. YouTube was where I saw some information, seen someone that looked like us, that was able to accomplish certain things. So
Right.
And we doing it right now. Someone's gonna see this video,
Right.
and we're like, man, 3 million. That's, for context, $3 million in 3 years. That's $1 million every single year. So
Right.
man, it's 25. You got some game to really give. We're gonna get to that later. But
Most definitely.
YouTube has always been that outlet, and then that's just like the starter. So okay, 16. What happened after that?
Yeah, so 16 at this point, I'm in school.
Okay.
And up until this point, I was involved in a few different programs through school that kind of separated me based off of having certain grades or achieving stuff academically. So I've always been like academically focused and like, ability performing that type of environment, take tests, stuff like that. So up until this point, I'm kind of sheltered in a way in this type of environment, but then I got my first taste of freedom when I got my car at 16.
Okay.
So that's when it all changed. Like, you start to reevaluate your values once you open to more resources, what I've learned. So, started to reevaluate some things I was doing, started to have a little bit more fun, started to prioritize being girls, started to prioritize living that type of lifestyle. And, really that was my focus from like 16 to 21. All the way through school. I decided to go to school based off this belief that, hey, school was gonna serve me in some type of way in my career. Not in a corporate environment, because I always view myself pursuing entrepreneurship, but I thought, hey, they can at least give me some skills I feel like would be valuable. In fact, come to find out, those skills weren't as valuable as I thought. Some of the business skills, the technology skills, stuff changes so fast in our environment. So I just decided, hey, this is not super valuable of time and money. I was spending my own money to go to school, everything of that nature.
Word.
And then, so decided to drop out. And then shortly after that, 3 months, I'm still living in that college town I was growing up in. And through living there, I was also working at Best Buy at the time. So I'm still practicing sales. I'm practicing customer service. I'm learning how to speak to people. So still valuable experiences. But around this time, it's 2020.
Okay.
I had dropped out that semester. So it's like early January 2020. And as you know, March 2020, that was pandemic time. So
Yeah, facts.
didn't know that was around the corner. Working at Best Buy, just dropped out of school, kind of, focused on a lot of degenerate activities in my off time. And, basically that led me to a moment, my 21st birthday, that changed my life forever. And that was a moment where, made some poor decisions that day that led to me being in jail for the weekend and, really having a wake up call moment into what I was doing, what inputs was I putting into my life and what that was giving me.
100%.
Yeah.
And you feel like from that experience shaped you into the person you are today? You feel like you can go back to that moment and really be like, okay, like that was the shift of everything?
Yeah, I think there was like tons of shifts, I would say, to who I am today. And that's what I try to focus on when it comes to my content, the coaching stuff that I do with people, when it comes to mindset, structuring your life, getting clear on the goals and purpose and everything that you want to create, which is really understanding like who you are. Like a lot of us have this conception of who we are as like, oh, I'm born this way, or this is just who I am, this sense of identity. But really like who you are, your personality is a combination of what you believe, what you value, and then, your state, like what you do with your body. So I guess I didn't connect the dots of all that until recently more so. But you asked the question about did that shape me? I think that all the experiences in my life have shaped the values that I have now, the beliefs I have now, and the daily habits of action that I have now. So 100%.
That's big. And just putting it all into one box. And then, okay, so that happened at 21. And then you're very big into mindset and philosophy. Is that when that happened or was it before then?
That I got into the mindset and philosophy. I feel like I've always been interested in it. Yeah, my mom, she's probably the biggest role model I have in my life, and
Yeah.
she was always big on I can do anything I put my mind to.
100%.
So I always heard that growing up, I could do anything I put my mind to, and that always gave me a sense of power. That always gave me a sense of freedom. That always made me know that it was my choice the results I got in life.
Right.
So I always had that sense of responsibility early on, that self-responsibility, and she gave me that, allowed me to do my own things. And I think through having that sense of responsibility for my own life and my own actions and my own choices and my own decisions,
Right.
I'm like, well, I want to make sure all those decisions is good
100%.
and not lead to bullshit, not lead to failure. So I think that's where I got really interested in like how we make decisions
100%.
and why we make the decisions that we do. And more so like how can we make wise decisions? I know
100%.
you're big on that too, right? Like you have the Kingdom Ecom, and part of that Kingdom mindset is how can we make wise decisions? How can we make the right decisions? So yeah, and that's what my grandma put on her obituary too. She used to always say that to us, all the grandkids. We used to go over her house and stay the night for the weekends, grandma's house. We ate deep in there, small basement, packing her little BMW, and she always just emphasized the importance of making the right decisions.
100%.
So I still hold that with me to this day for sure.
All big about responsibility. Your ability to respond is so big. So that's something. And I always ask this question: did you play sports growing up?
Yeah, I was a hooper for sure.
Play sports.
You could tell I'm 6'4".
6'4".
Yeah. Not funny. Right. We speaking into it.
I was there, but not like 6'4". Okay, play sports. And I asked that question because typically playing sports you can identify if I put in this work, this happens. You get input, output. So I always see that big in like entrepreneurs. Usually they play sports growing up. Myself, I played soccer growing up, so I know. And also with sports too as well. You know, you surround yourself with the right people. So you surround yourself with good players, you become good, and that just resonates with just
Right.
outside of the world. Like you put yourself around good people, good energy,
Mm-hmm.
you become that. So
100%.
that's big. Okay, 21. When'd you get into sales? Like when that happen?
Yeah, bro. Shoot, I've always been quote unquote into sales. Always liked money. Always liked selling stuff. Always liked the process of sales. Ever since I was young. I mean, I was selling candy bars in middle school. Like I would have my mom. She'll go get like the Sam's Club bulk candy bars. I'll come have them in the locker. Hey, y'all pull up candy for $1. Mowing lawns. Shoveling snow. Helping my grandpa. He used to cut grass, so I used to do that a lot. So anything to make some money. I like the process of selling. I even wrote down on this self-image poem I had wrote when I was 10 years old. I found it at home. And on the self-image poem I wrote, I want to be known as a fantastic or excellent salesman. So I don't know where it came from, but it's just something that's been in me forever. I can kind of more articulate that now. We could dive into that if you want, but I think that's when it got started.
And when did you find that from 10 years old?
I revisited probably, I went back home maybe 2021 and I found it in there and I was like, damn, this is
That was like, okay, dang, maybe I should try sales.
no, that wasn't the moment. So, like I said, I've always kind of been interested in it. One of my first jobs was working at the YMCA, so like front desk customer service, and then that transitioned into Nike, and then that transitioned to Best Buy. Like I always knew I needed to be good with people to be successful in business. I needed to be good with people to build the type of wealth that I wanted to create in my life. I knew I needed to be able to communicate, sell, articulate value. I knew I needed to do all those things. So I've always tried to, even when this is helpful for anybody out there that's watching. It's like, even if you're not where you want to be in your career as far as having everything figured out or like the end stage, how can you set yourself up to get the necessary skills that can help you at that next level?
100%.
So me working at that front desk job helped me when I went to Nike and I was able to walk around the floor and speak to people. Working at Nike helped me at Best Buy, being able to sell computers and credit card things. And
100%.
working at Best Buy helped me when I transitioned to my own online business. I started with SMMA. I know you had to start at SMMA too.
Yeah.
So that SMA experience selling that type of online product service helped me when I went full time with high ticket sales about 3-4 years ago.
100%. And then just stacking on top of each other, those skill sets as a whole. So I think that's super big and something to think about because some people could feel like, dang, I'm in this position right now. I can't do nothing, but you can look at what you're learning and what's benefiting you in that and go to the next level. So
Right.
one thing, bro, $3 million in 3 years, $1 million sounds like so much that some people don't believe that they can make that happen. Like,
Mhm.
was there a belief shift? Because no way you started sales, so it was like, oh, I'm hitting, I'm doing this. What was the change that made that happen to give you that confidence of like, oh yeah, I'm hitting every single time?
Yeah, sales is an interesting game. I'm glad you went there. It's belief system, but it's also work ethic. And I think that's key in most results is to consider those two strategies. It's like, what's the mental strategy? And I got this from the Bible actually, where it talks about faith without works is dead. So like, how can you cultivate ultimate faith in whatever you're selling and yourself and the product and your team and everything that you're doing, and then combine that with the work of just putting the volume of sales calls and reps and monitoring calls. So it's really the combination of both of those to get good and how I got good myself. And also just like, a lot of business, what I've come to learn like about the patterns is really trending and like time in the market in certain cases. So you can get into something where it's trending up and that do really well, and you can get into something else that doesn't. So the offer definitely plays a big factor and how good you're doing, like timing that. But also, having the skill is something that you can't avoid.
Yeah.
You gotta have that to get the job done.
Did you always believe that you can get it while you're young? Like, was that your goal? Was your goal like, I'm trying to get money as fast as possible, as young as possible?
No, so I've always had a 3-part goal when it comes to wealth. Told you about it a little bit, but those 3 parts to my goal when it comes to wealth is making the most money, doing what I love, and impacting people in the deepest ways possible.
Mm.
So I've always looked for the combination of those 3. So I happen to really love sales. Like I happen to really love the process of communicating. It's really just helping people. And it's really like helping people see where they can change and where they can experience a better version of reality, a higher quality of life. You know, I believe in all the products and services I've ever sold as far as being able to help somebody increase the quality of their life. And it's usually just fear blocks that get in the way, which is why I enjoy coaching. I enjoy helping people find those gaps and overcome those gaps. So part of it is love, 100%. And then through finding something that you love, something that you're passionate about, I think the money comes as a byproduct of that. And then that's where the third piece comes in. It's like if you find something that you love and that you can impact people in deep ways, you know, there's three big areas that really affect people's lives: their money, their health, and their relationships. So if you could like find a way to impact one or multiple of those areas of somebody's life, that's very valuable. 100%. And, you know, sales was just a vehicle that allowed me to do what I want, do what I love. Is, you know, having conversations. I feel like I'll do it for free. 100%. Talk to my friends, I give them advice, I ask questions. So something I already enjoy, plus combination being able to help people, that was where I was like, okay, if I do those two things, the money will come. And, you know, lo and behold, get in the right vehicle, money starts coming because of that.
100%. And you touched on the Bible, and it really seems like you got, no, seems, I know you have values because we talk outside of this many a times and we have great conversations, but where did it come from reading the Bible, then applying it? Or where did that come from, bro?
The values.
Yeah, like there's people, like you just broke it down. You said the triangle, like the foundation of everything. Not too many people have that awareness whenever they start out. Like, where did you get that awareness from?
It's a good question. I think that
You're saying it off the dome so easily, but I know like you 3 years ago maybe wasn't able to say that off the dome that easy. So like there's things that have led up to where you're at right now mentally.
right. Yeah, I think is number one is the principle of knowing what you want
Okay.
and having a vision.
Okay. There it is.
Yep. So that's number one, the principle. And I think I took that from the Bible, where it's like, without a vision, the people perish. And through the process of learning how to effectively set a vision. And that's something that, you know, I also feel inherently born with too. I'm not going to negate that. I think a lot of times people negate when we get into online business circles or business circles in general of natural proclivities and like what you're naturally talented at and what you naturally enjoy, what you naturally like and naturally value. So all those things combined, I think, you know, it gives people a compass or North Star that they could use to get better results in their life. And for me, that North Star, that compass was understanding that in order to build wealth, I wanted to do those three things. I wanted to make money, I wanted to help a lot of people, and I wanted to do what I love. And that was the vision, and I was open to any means of how that could come. If that came in the result of me building a huge multi-billion-dollar hedge fund or M&A, and that's what I thought I was at first, like the CEO type of mindset, or building a software company or building an SMA or, you know, anything like that. I'm open to the vehicle, but I'm not open to changing the vision.
Okay.
To where I'm going.
So if someone were watching this video right now that is like, I want to do something online, I want to make it while I'm young enough, or I want to be young enough, you would say starting off with the vision and then align that with your purpose?
Yeah, 100%. It's get clear on what you want. So it's like, yes, I can say, what's the fastest way? This is what I kind of see in the online community and what stops a lot of people and what stopped me previously too. What can I do to go make 10K a month real quick? And I know that's like a lot of marketing, and that's great for marketing.
It is.
But like, to design your life, I think there are things that can help you tap into who you need to be in order to get the results that you want. So many people focus on like, what is the result? What do I need to do? How's it going to come? What 10K a month, just the money, but they don't focus on who do I need to become to make 10K a month.
Right.
You need to become a disciplined person. You need to become a focused person. You need to become empathetic. You need to become caring. You need to become someone that's capable of having a skill set or a value that earns $10,000 a month. That comes through effort, obsession, putting in work, studying, learning, being obsessed, like actually curious about the thing that you're doing. That only comes if you're actually interested, if you're actually obsessed about it. And, you know, that why can be you just love it. That why can be I'm really trying to provide for my family. So first is like, what do you want? And I can understand and appreciate that there's people in different positions. Me, I was in the luxury enough position where I wasn't experiencing so much suffering to where I had to just make money at all costs. Like, I had different jobs, I had ways I could survive. So a higher goal for me was, can I find something I really love and make money and be fulfilled? So that was my goal. But somebody else may say, hey, my goal right now is to just make 10K a month as quick as possible. And I would say, you know, find something that's trending right now that you can get behind, that's already got millions of dollars flowing into it, that you could, you know, kind of ride that wave. E-commerce, you know, these different vehicles, or somebody may be really in love with the process of ecom and building a brand and those things. So that's another vehicle. So anybody to change the results that you're getting, number one step that I found and this worked for me is getting crystal clear on what I want, not anybody else. And that requires just some sitting in a dark room, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, right now, journaling the questions. What do I really want? What do I want? So yeah, I think it starts there, and then, like you said, the purpose, combine that with a strong enough why. Why do I want it? And the how becomes clear. The how becomes pretty easy.
Man, what you just said right there, that's everything. I hope everyone's like really getting that game. I got 2 questions for you. So one, I'm gonna get into this question of like, okay, you have a 9 to 5 in 5 years, like how that happened. But before that, people really don't have that belief of being able to make things happen. So did you have like a mentor? You had someone that you looked at, you seen physically be able to accomplish what you've been able to accomplish before you? Is that like how you got to it? Is that what made you believe? Like, what made you believe that it's possible? Because
Really my mom.
okay,
Really my mom. Shout out her. She always talked to me about growing up. I always heard the voice of you could do anything if you put your mind to it. So I can definitely appreciate the value that that's had on my life. And I can recognize that a lot of people don't grow up with that voice in their head. And sometimes it can be difficult, especially if you don't have the references in your environment of what you can do. So easily I say I could have disassociated from what she was saying and the results that she was producing. Cause she's not, my mom grew up working 7 days a week in a factory, literally on the assembly line, like, telling me I could do anything I want if I put my mind to it. But, is that really what you want to do, mine? So like there was maybe some incongruence with the word versus what was everything happening. But I think in combination of repetition, just actually hearing that, and this is the advice I would give somebody now if they're looking to change a belief. Like let's say you grew up in an environment where you didn't hear these good things about wealth or thinking about abundance or what's really possible for you. Repetition is how it's done. How did you learn anything? How did you learn the ABCs? How did you learn how to tie your shoe? How did you learn anything is through the process of repeating something over and over again. And the more you can attach emotional intensity to that idea, to that thought, the more it's going to stick, the more it's going to ingrain into the nervous system, and the more it's going to be effortless. If I got to think about how I'm supposed to believe in order to get something done, it's never going to happen. Because I'm thinking about it, I'm going to procrastinate on thinking about it, it's never going to happen. But like when it's in my heart and soul and deep in my body and deep in my nervous system that I know 100% I can do anything I put my mind to, 100%, because I heard that ingrained in my head over and over again and had emotional experiences where I felt really bad and my mom came in at the right time to say, hey, you can do it. And that stuck with me. That carries on.
everywhere.
Carries on everywhere.
That is amazing. Man, that's so because how I would say like my belief shift changes whenever I got around. So when I was doing exactly what I wanted to do. So like whenever I first got to Dallas and I got around like a certain group and I'm seeing the person going crazy e-commerce and then like being behind and seeing the efforts, what it takes to get there, seeing that they just like me. And then that gave me the belief and seeing the money behind it too. I was like, oh, like it's more than possible. So of course my mom and my parents always gave me that belief, but I had to see it to believe it. Most certainly anything that would switched it for me.
Right.
And
Right. Yeah, and that's a beauty of like the age we live in too. Cause like how did you even know about those people?
YouTube.
Okay. All right. All right.
That's exactly what we're doing right now. Because I know, I hope, and the reason why we do it is to affect everyone that's watching and impact more than anything.
Yeah.
Not YouTube. Wow.
I know it will too, and have that similar impact. And that's the beauty of the beliefs, because what a belief is really, like at its fundamental level, people talk about beliefs and there's a lot of different definitions, but what I feel a belief is, it's a strong feeling of certainty behind their idea or something, a thing, a strong feeling of certainty. So it's just a feeling. And once you know what a belief is, then you can construct it through your life experiences. So like the more references you have for a belief, like the more experiences that you could tie to an idea, the stronger the feeling of certainty. So it's like, yes, I got the feeling I can do anything for my mom, but it's also seeing other people in different industries accomplish things that never been accomplished. So for me, that started, I'm a hip hop head heavy. So like, seeing people like Hove go from nothing, Marcy, slanging crack to, corporate billionaire,
Yeah.
president of Def Jam.
Yeah. So
Kanye go from Peak Lolo's Chicago to the biggest fashion designer in the world to, all these things. So like hip hop, strong reference for me. Seeing people, just in the entertainment industry, seeing people what's possible with hard work. And then over time, constantly, I think when you have that vision, when you have that focus on what you want, then the references start to become clear. I just think a lot of people are just not too clear on like what they want. There's so many different voices that you start following this person, this person, this person. But like when you know what you want, then it's like, okay, these are the people that's done it. And they start to show themselves. It's the reticular activating system. Whatever you focus on, then your brain is going to literally dial in like a servo mechanism on resources and things in your environment that's going to help you get what you want. So it's one of the best things that we can do is just focus on what we want.
This is why he's so great. And that's exactly why I had to bring on the mindset. You know, we got Kingdom Ecom, and you got the Kingdom mindset as well. We're going to get into the Kingdom, but all right, 9 to 5, haven't had one for 5 years. So whenever you got out of Best Buy, how did you end up where you're at right now?
Bro, that's a miracle. God. Great things. So yeah, that was like the catalyst moment. So again, I was kind of telling you, I had just dropped out of school. It's January. I'm telling all my friends, I'm telling everybody I know, my birthday's coming up in 3 months. I'm gonna have an epic 21st. It's gonna be literally something I'm never gonna forget. It's gonna be crazy. And I'm just meditating in this, thinking about this, telling people about this. So what am I doing? I'm creating a strong feeling of certainty that my 21st birthday is gonna be something I'll never forget. So I didn't preface it by saying a positive experience that I will never forget. So be clear on what y'all trying to manifest. My point through this whole topic. If you take one thing away, it's know what you want to be clear on it. But anyway, so I'm telling everybody like, hey, this was about to go down. We get closer to the date. Go to a party, things happen, there's liquor involved, there's poor decisions, there's egos, there's firearms, there's things involved that land me in jail for the weekend that night. So I'm in jail, it's literally the weekend that COVID started an outbreak. So like everything's on the news, there's COVID things going, everything's shutting down. I'm in jail, I'm not knowing what's going on, got talking to family members. Next thing you know, Best Buy tells me don't come back. They're like, yeah, we're shutting down the store and nobody's gonna come in. We got select people working from home. You'll get unemployment. It's okay. So I'm literally just released from jail. Best Buy tells me that they're shutting down. My car breaks down. So I had a car at the time that breaks down. I'm already dropped out of school. So 6 months prior, I'm in school. I got a job. Everything's going good. I got a car. I got a direction. Fast forward, no car, just got out of jail, no direction. Best Buy shut down. What am I about to do? So that's when I'm like, okay, what am I about to do? My dad was already living here in Fort Worth. He moved here after I graduated high school from Michigan. So I have visited a few times in Texas, liked it. Long story short, decided to come here, live with him. So now I'm living with my dad, taking a huge step back. Mine's going crazy. I was just in school, getting my degree, had, all this stuff going on. Now I'm no car, no job, living with my dad. What's going on? And I'm 21. So yeah, that was when I had to get really clear on what I want.
Okay.
So
Your process looks so nice.
it started small. It started with just I need to get a car, I need to get a place, and I need to get some type of income. So car came first, got that.
How'd you get the car?
Got an apartment. I was making unemployment at the time, and I was doing SMA work, like freelance work. So I was getting unemployment. I was doing a little SMA freelance work, and then I got the car from that. So I put down payment, got the car, and I had a little money saved up too. So got the car. Then I got the apartment, small apartment, 4 roommates, $500 a month. Not really making no consistent income. Haven't figured out the online business thing yet. So boom, I got this car. 2 weeks into my apartment, my car gets stolen. Yeah,
The new car you just got.
yeah, out here exes. Car gets stolen. 2 weeks into the apartment, I'm like, great. This is how we're still at. Nissan Altima, the car I got now.
And they stole that joint?
Yeah, they got
How they steal it?
not sure, but we got it back.
Okay.
We got it back. So got it back because I just kept focused on what I want, man. This whole time I was really learning the power of mindset. You talk about mindset, mindset's all cool and everything to talk about, but when you're going through hard shit, when you're going through adversity, when you actually meet a roadblock,
100%.
things start to happen in your life.
Yeah.
That's when you're tested. That's when we're gonna see if the work works.
100%.
Or see if we're gonna actually implement the tactics, right?
100%.
So I'm focused on what I want, doing some different mindset things. Ended up getting my car back. I'm like, man, something needs to change. So I find The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale on YouTube.
Okay.
And if y'all not familiar, go watch that right now. Strangest Secret, Earl Nightingale on YouTube. And basically, the strangest secret in the world is that we become what we think about. And in this YouTube video, he has a 30-day plan for you to focus on a single idea for 30 days without thinking negatively about it. My idea was I was making $10,000 a month And if you focus on that idea, you write it on a note card, and you look at it every single day, twice a day, then you will attract it. You will get it. Kid you not. I start looking at this note card every day. It's changing my habits. Everything's changing. You know, I don't want to be so religious about the idea that it's literally just some metaphysical shit that I'm doing. Like, just change is happening, right?
Right.
I'm working out. I'm getting a routine. I'm making YouTube videos. I'm taking momentum. I'm doing the right things. And then through that process of improving myself and focusing on what I want, I come across this opportunity on Twitter. Was like, hey, hiring salesperson. I had already done a sales job. It's not really working out. I'm like, okay, let me try this out.
There it is.
Get in there. Literally, I go from $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month, door dashing, doing, some sales work on the side, some SMA stuff, trying to figure it all out, freelance, to literally next month, I double my income, make like $6,000 first month.
Sales.
Yeah.
Okay.
With this new offer. Then I go from 6,000 to 8,000.
Okay.
I go from 8 to 10.
Okay.
Then I go from 10 to 12, 12 to 15. Peak, I get all the way up to $20,000 a month just from high ticket sales, selling this coaching program, and literally everything changed in a matter of months.
Like 3 months, 2 months?
4 months. 4 months, my whole life changed. I go from making nothing, living in an apartment with 4 other people, and just got my car stolen and not knowing what's going on, to literally start making $20,000 a month. Move out of that apartment. I go downtown Dallas. I get this apartment overlooking the city, crazy balcony. Find and meet the girl of my dreams, the exact woman that I wrote out on the book. I start hitting all my health goals. Everything just changed based on this idea of becoming hyper aware of who I wanted to be and what I wanted to focus on, and then start to make the micro decisions that put me in alignment with that version of myself. So what I didn't highlight in the story, but what I want to highlight now, is not only was I getting up at a consistent time every day and hitting a routine, I was also journaling. I was also reading books, consuming and feeding my mind. I was also focusing on what I want. I was also, looking at skills and network and trying to figure out what I want to do. I'm also making YouTube videos. I'm also outsourcing cooking my meals, because the version of myself that has what I want, I'm not spending all this time cooking because my time is valuable. So I stopped doing that. I stopped being at my apartment and trying to work out of there. I get a membership at a co-working space.
Right.
Start renting out $500 a month, this little office, put myself in that environment, get dressed up every day. So I start to move in alignment of the person I needed to be,
Okay.
to get the results I want.
And that's everything. Some people would just try to read a book and then have it in the back of their mind and think it's going to work. You got to journal, work out, do what you got to do, apply yourself to everything and go full force all the way. So that's big. But was there any downfalls, like anything that happened was there any roadblocks while you were doing everything that you were supposed to do?
Of course. I mean, everything that we talked about, it was all roadblocks. These are all still not ultimately like to the ultimate vision yet. So I think everybody has challenges, and that doesn't stop.
How do you get through them now?
I get through my challenges by this process of identifying what I want and figuring out the gap of why I don't have what I want. So I don't want to sound overly simplistic in that answer, and I want to provide value to the community. So what I mean by that is, over time, as I've gotten more clear of what I want, it's been a lot easier to actually obtain that. So what I've learned is that I don't necessarily want the materialistic things. I don't want the money. I don't want the relationship. I don't want the body. I don't want the social circle. I don't want the network. I don't want the travel. I don't want the houses. I don't want the cars. I don't want any of that. What I really want is positive emotions. Why human beings do anything is to experience more pleasure and less pain. We're gonna go towards pleasure and away from pain. Why we do anything is our base psychology. So how we associate or how we interpret it, pleasure or pain, is based off our emotions, how we feel. So really, I want to feel successful. I want to feel happy. I want to feel love. I want to feel great. I want to feel abundant. I want to feel these things. But the secret, hey, everybody, the secret, you can feel those things right now. You don't need anything else to feel those things right now. Now, all those things are cool. It's going to help me be more. It's going to help me give more. It's going to help me do more. It's going to help me share more. It's going to help me impact more people. So it's great. That's where I'm headed. But I recognize that I want these emotions. So when I go through a roadblock, a challenge, it's usually an emotional block. And emotional blocks usually come from like a bad belief I have. Oh, success takes a long time. Oh, every time I grow, it's going to be painful. Oh, this means that I'm never going to have this again. So in order to take control of your emotions, what I found that we have to do, and this would be super helpful for all you, if you're watching this right now, to stop what you're doing and write down what I'm about to tell you, because it's literally the key to taking control of your emotions. And your emotions are really what you want in life. So give you 2 seconds, grab a notebook, write this down. To take control of your emotions, it's all about what you focus on, what your self-talk is, what meaning you associate to whatever's happening outside of you, and whatever you're doing with your body. So if I want to stop feeling sad, if I want to stop feeling depressed, if I want to stop feeling emotional, if I want to stop feeling like however I'm feeling based off this external event that we call a roadblock in front of me, if I want to stop feeling that way towards it, all I have to do is take control of what I'm focused on. Like, for example, building my business, girl I'm in love with breaks up with me. What do? Do I focus on the breakup? Do I focus on building my business? Do I focus on this relationship? What do I focus on? Relationships are a big part of life. So I have to focus on that at least. Okay, so I'm gonna focus on, okay, this happened. Now what meaning am I associated to this? Am I gonna associate, oh, this means I'll never find love again. This means that this relationship is over. This means that everything's gonna go to shit because I'm going through this. So what meaning do I associate? Or is this the beginning of a brand new relationship? Do I associate that meaning? This is the beginning of me growing into somebody that's stronger, that's able to have something better. So what meaning do I associate to that bit? And then what am I gonna do because of it? Am I gonna lay in bed, sulk, think about it all day and how bad it is, and just lay in my bed and not have energy, eat bad food, and do all the stuff that's gonna self-sabotage me? Or am I going to move my body? You know, the quickest way to change an emotion is through movement. Emotion is just energy and motion. So like to activate that energy and motion, you got to get in motion. You got to get moving. So I can go hit a workout. I can go move my body. I can breathe different. I can talk different. I can have a different conversation. I can do some breath work. I can meditate. A lot of things you can do when you're open to the possibility of choice and change. But that's only going to come when you know what you want.
You were making my brain just like, man, every time we have conversation, you just have me think on a deeper level, just simple topics. Right. Just as you explain it in such a way that people can take action on, which is most important. And then two, you say it in such a belief to where you make the other person believe. And that's why you're such a great person and such a great coach and such a great blessing to everyone that you come around. And that's why I appreciate you. That lead you on got you on the Kingdom Ecom mindset, because the mindset is crazy for you. But my question is, do you think that mindset is what led to your hitting $3 million in sales? Because that's really what it sounds like. Because it sounds like you've meditated on this for hours. You've put in the work for, can't even count the hours, and you're showing that through the way you speak it. But do you think that's what led you to that $3 million?
Yeah, 100%. To get any result, and I got this from Tony Robbins, it's 80% mindset and 20% skill set. So more specifically, because I think mindset can be sometimes vague, and I've been confused by some of the mindset work previously. Oh, you telling me I could just think positive and that my whole life's gonna change? Like, you know, but what I've really come to realize is that a lot of times when speakers or teachers talk about mindset, what they really mean is vibration. Now, don't want to get too woo-woo, too quantum, too, you know, out there with it. Okay.
In a good way.
I do want to make it practical and something that you take action on. So the way I think about mindset, it's more so a vibration set, or the certain state that you're in, your emotional, physical state of being. And that state, who you are being, not just what you're thinking, but like who you are being, is a combination of what you're thinking, how you feel in your body, and then what you're doing. So if I think about mindset, it's becoming the version of myself that already has the result I want. So if I want to make $10,000 a month as a high ticket closer, which is something I love to do, that allows me to have freedom and access to do what I want, wake up when I want, go to the gym when I want, have a conversation like this when I want, and grant me that freedom, then who do I need to be? I need to be someone that, you know, thinks like this about money, thinks like this about life. I need to feel abundant. I need to feel good. I need to do certain things that lead to me making money. And the shortcut, if anybody needs it, easiest way to do this is to model somebody that's already done it. That's why you're here on this podcast. We're both young, have a certain lifestyle that maybe you're inspired by, or maybe you could take some tidbits by to apply to your life to help you get where you want to be faster, and modeling the little things, the beliefs, the values, the way that you move your body, the way that what somebody focuses on. All those little things, if you could just like model from the people that you want to be and start to adapt them, those little changes, micro changes. Instead of focusing a little bit more on TikTok and scrolling and just, you know, mindless shit, focus a little bit more on learning something that could be positive. So just those little things have contributed to the overall ability to manage my state, which I would say is more important than mindset. And then through that ability to manage my state, I've been able to get the skills necessary. Because we only do stuff when we feel like doing it. If I don't feel like taking a sales call, if I don't feel like listening to a sales recording, if I don't feel like role playing,
Talking, man.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. So what did I have to do even before this conversation? Shift my body, beat my chest a little bit, talk to myself a little bit, get in state, be ready, locked into impact. What's the goal? What's the outcome? Okay, bet. Locked in. Now I'm in a state. Now the practice becomes more flowy. And when you practice and flow, now you learning. Now you growing.
This man practically preach. I'm telling you right now. And like I spent the whole day with him. Everything like sound waves, bleeping at that. Like, and bro, we can go into deep, but I do want to give people a model that they can model off this. So, what would you give someone your optimal day? How do you get someone to up their vibration to be able to accomplish what you accomplish? $3 million is that's like
Right.
big.
Appreciate you, bro. I think it's through anything you do once, you're not going to get the result from. So we don't get the results on what we do once, we get the results on what we do consistently. So at the end of the day, to keep it simple, inputs equal outputs. You get what you give. You reap what you sow. These are basic laws that sometimes we can just forget, we'll let slip through the cracks, don't become aware of. But you can't cheat life. You can't cheat God. I used to cheat on the tests. I might have tried to cheat on a girl. You could do all those things in life, and unfortunately, you might reap the repercussions. You might not. You might get through. Probably not with the girl. They're a little bit more intuitive. Don't do that. Right? Don't do that. But one thing you can't cheat 100% is God and His law. So, you reap what you sow. Inputs equal outputs. So what we want to do is condition the type of inputs that we need to get the output. And like I said, I think all results stem more so from the emotional state. Like if I show up to a sales call and I'm happy, I'm joyful, I just closed a past deal, I just hit a workout, I'm in a good, positive, emotional peak state, I'm going to be 10 times more likely to close that deal than if I'm just rolling out of bed, getting on the call, hey, whatever. So it's like putting yourself in that state, and it has to be something that's conditioned. Can't just put myself in the state once. So prefacing by saying that you have to put yourself in the state consistently and conditioning that. I believe the best time to condition the state that you want to be in for the rest of the day is in the morning. As soon as you wake up, what are you doing to put yourself in an emotional state needed to perform your best? So first, it's like identifying what those emotions are. How do you want to feel? Shit, I want to feel motivated. I want to feel inspired. I want to feel connected. I want to feel loving. I want to feel grateful. I want to feel like I am a blessing. I want to feel like I am blessed. I want to feel like everybody's around me blessed. I want to feel like I have great things coming my way. I want to feel like all the desires I want, I already have right now. I want to experience that right now. So my process, what that looks like is I wake up in the morning, I hydrate, put some water in my system. I do like electrolytes with salt and lemon and just hydrate my system from the night before, because my brain's not hydrated. My brain's not going to operate the best. So it's going to be harder to tap into these states. From there, I'll go into like a primer exercise where I do like some quick breathing, and I do like a quick meditation where I focus on some things I'm grateful for, and I focus on the things that I want to create. So I go gratitude first, put me into that abundant state. Then I carry that gratitude into things that I want to happen, and I am grateful for them now as if they already did happen. So there, from there in that state, hop out of there. I want to immediately start filling my brain with good info. So I started reading like a book, just couple pages, 15, 20 minutes as I'm drinking pre-workout for the gym. Boom, after the book, now I'm hitting the gym. So I've already done something for my spirit, gratitude, focusing on what I want. That's going to, attract that to me and put me in that mindset. I'm doing something for my brain, my mental. I'm filling up new information every day. New ideas is how you're going to change your life. All you need is one idea to shift everything for you. So I strongly believe in that. And then after I got those new ideas, I want to condition myself physically. I want to have the vitality, the energy to perform all day. So that starts with a workout and, conditioning my muscles and, obviously all the 10,000 benefits that come from working out that we all are aware of. So it's just the process of doing it and making it a commitment. That's been consistent. This whole change I've talked about since that moment is I've consistently made my morning routine, my morning ritual, me putting myself in a peak state, a commitment and something that's priority.
Right. That is big. And are you doing that Monday through Friday, Monday through Saturday, every day?
Mostly Monday through Saturday. Sunday is usually the day that I'm more lenient on the routine. I kind of use it as a rest day, as a reset day. I know we getting some extra work here, on Sunday now, but yeah, it is fun. It is fun. So usually Monday through Saturday, I want to stay consistent with that. Yeah.
100%. You put a lot of it's gonna be this can go for on a long talk, but you did brought up a lot to God and kingdom and everything. How do you think that played a big role in just everything for yourself?
Oh, it's the biggest role. It's the biggest role. I actually did this exercise recently where I asked myself, what are some of my most empowering beliefs and what are some of my most disempowering beliefs? If you really want a powerful exercise that will literally change the rest of your life, do this exercise right now. No matter if you've already done it before, no matter if you thought about doing it, you haven't done it, you didn't think it's that important, you don't think that it's that important right now. Stop what you're doing, do this exercise. It's very, very important. Beliefs control behavior. So it's very important to know what your beliefs are and you can start taking control and changing them. But I did this exercise recently. What are some of my most empowering beliefs, disempowering beliefs? And one of my empowering beliefs is just my belief in Christ. And I know yours is the belief that, God has created everything to succeed. So I've just noticed that patterns with the leaders that I've worked with, the leaders that I partnered with and studied, which is they have this belief and understanding of something greater than themselves and the ability to tap into that. Grace is a lot of times what I would call it and what I see. And by tapping into that grace, it kind of gives you the ability to make mistakes and the ability to, take risks because it's, a risky business, starting a business, no pun intended. So, yeah, that was kind of where I was going with that.
Yeah, no, 100%. And it was leading into like the kingdom mindset because whenever you ask me that question, my most empowering belief was how God created everything to be successful. We look at the sun, it rains, the grass gonna grow, fish gonna swim, birds gonna fly, and we was put on this earth to be successful. So there's really no, like how you put it in a great way, like nobody's really perfect. So it's okay to make mistakes. And whenever you have that with you too as well, I think it just, bro, you're put on his earth to be successful. And so it just makes you believe in everything because there's like this concept of everyone just, whenever you see someone successful, it's like such a, oh, wow, like what? He's successful? That should be a normal thing because it was put on his earth to be successful. So
Right.
that's big to me.
100%. And I think I'm curious to know your ideas on this too. A lot of people don't tap into that freedom and that power because that's powerful for you, right?
That is 100%.
Like it's the most empowering from beliefs. Like it makes you feel powerful, it makes you feel greater, it makes you feel like you can do more, be more, have more, achieve more. So I think it just comes down to maybe the awareness, which is what I'm big on, is like maybe they just don't know that's something that can be powerful for them. Or, just not choosing, not deciding to adopt the belief that everything's working for my good, everything's created to be successful. Because it's like, in order to tap into that power of being successful, which by my definition is enjoying your time here on earth, having a good quality life, in order to tap into that power, it does require you to make the decision that that's why you're here.
100%.
Because if not, then, whatever you focus on goes. So,
Man, and that's big. And we're going to have so many more conversations like this when it comes to the Kingdom Ecom. Every Monday mindset. As you see, just from this podcast alone, I hope you had notebooks and really got the impact because you poured a lot of energy into everything you said. So I pretty hope everyone feels that. You got any last things you want to really put it on with? 'Cause I know, man, you always got something.
yeah, bro. First, I appreciate you again for having me on. This has been great. This has been electrifying. And that would be my hope, for everybody watching it, for everybody listening right now. If you choose to join us on the Monday evening calls at 6:30 p.m. Central Time, which is to feel electrified, to feel empowered, to feel like you have control over the direction of your life. A lot of times there's society, there's voices, there's challenges, there's roadblocks, things out there that can delude us and confuse us and, in my opinion, like dim down our brightness to say that you can't decide to have better results in your life. And I don't subscribe to that belief. And by understanding how my brain works, understanding how the decisions I make are created through my psychology, through my biology, and just how the body actually makes decisions, I've been more empowered than I ever have in my career, in my life, to take control of my emotions and just really produce more of the results and states that, allow me to be happy and allow me to enjoy life. So if you choose to join us Monday, that's what I can promise you. I'm just going to really dive into what you need to do, forget from where you are now to where you want to be and what's the steps in between. And it's not me giving you the answers, but me helping you to think for yourself and find the answers for yourself, because everything that you need to be the most powerful, successful, greatest version of yourself is within you now. And the opportunities are all around you. So I just hope people will be able to give them some more freedom or some choices to take advantage of those. So
full advantage. And you see, he's a full like representation of that, and been able to accomplish a lot at such a young age. Once again, $3 million in 3 years with sales, and just honestly feel like you're on that path of just enlightenment fully. So man, you got so much to really go into, but I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna have his YouTube in the description.
YouTube link in description. Y'all tap in. King J. Appreciate you all for watching, directing your eyeballs today. If you don't do anything but after this podcast, take some action on what you want. Take some action towards getting a better body, improving your financial situation, you know, tap into the course. If you already got it, you need to go review it, go do that, go build the website, go get the software, do what you need to do. Take an action right now, make a decision to improve the quality of your life. And that will be the biggest payoff for me for your eyeballs of watching this too. If you go do something, take action towards improving the quality of your life.
Everything in the description. We'll see you on the next podcast. Peace, man. Let's get it.